Okay, so we just got word that the same person directing the Minecraft movie also made Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. This is what I think the movie will be like now.
Such an idiot. I'm such your best moves.
Hello movie fans, thanks so much for clicking on episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. I gotta admit, this has gotta be one of my most favorite episodes of Side Flick because we got a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. Some of the stuff we're gonna be talking about here is, of course, the updates on the Minecraft movie. It looks like it's officially a go, and we even have a star attached. Some horror movie reboots, including the Blair Witch Project and the one I've been waiting for, the Leprechaun. We also got a Ted prequel in the works. Really, that along with so much more. So I'm gonna need you movie fans to give me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. Be sure to show me your enthusiasm for all this movie news by hitting that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And you know what? Let's have some fun today. In the comments section, leave me 3 to 5 emojis describing a movie, and I'll do my best to guess what movie it is. But starting things off here, let's just get the silly news story out of the way so we can enjoy the rest of the goodness. Here we have an update to what the next DC movie is. Deadline here is reporting the casting for the Wonder Twins movie, something that we had heard about, but I honestly did not think we'd be getting casting for this movie so soon. And here you go, Wonder Twins HBO Max movie, powers activate with KJ Apa and Isabel May. Now, like I said, we talked about this story a couple of weeks ago that they would be working on a Wonder Twins movie straight to HBO Max. And if you don't know who the Wonder Twins are, they're basically 2 alien teenagers that came down to Earth with their pet monkey, and when they bump their fist and activate their powers, the sister has the ability to shapeshift, usually into any animal, while the brother can go ahead and take any form of water, and he chooses a bucket of water. But I gotta admit, not a fan of this casting. Nothing against Riverdale KJ Apa. I'll admit, I gave Riverdale a season 1 try. Was a tough watch, let me tell you. You know they got superpowers and time travel now? When I was watching it, boy was trying to be a singer. But you know what? I'm gonna try to be a little less harsh on it, because it does say here in the article they're branding this movie as a comedy. So they're not gonna take themselves seriously, and they're gonna have a little fun with the fact that the boy can turn into a bucket of water and the sister into an animal. But I just gotta be honest when I say, anytime KJ Apa pops up in a project, I have not enjoyed it. Don't you remember that COVID movie he made? I don't know. I gotta wait and see some footage, and it's also surprising this movie starts filming this summer. We can't get a damn Superman movie made with Henry Cavill, but they greenlight this thing and have it ready to film this summer. So get excited, Wonder Twin fans! What do you guys think about Wonder Twins and this casting and the fact that it's going to be a comedy? Moving on to something here that I don't know how many fans there are of this, but the potential is kind of huge for this. Deadline here reports of a new video game movie getting turned into a film, and it's not the Minecraft movie. We're not getting there just yet. Hold your horses. Deadline here is reporting that Streets of Rage film in the works. Sonic's DJ2 Entertainment and Escape Artists to produce video game adaptation scripted by John Wick's Derek Kolstad. Thanks to the success of Sonic Movie 2, it looks like these producers are willing to go to their lineup of IP movies and see what can be turned into a feature-length film. And they decided to pull out Streets of Rage, which was a video game I never played, but after looking at some of the footage, it is my kind of game. Whenever I am in the mood for some retro gaming, I am a sucker for side-scrollers and beat-em-ups. Back in the arcade days, I would always play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Simpsons beat-em-up game, so this is something I'd be on board with, but more on board because of who is behind the project. Because Derek Kolstad not only created the John Wick franchise, this is the man who also wrote the Bob Odenkirk movie Nobody, which was like one of the biggest surprises of the previous year. The man knows how to write an action movie with entertaining lore and backstories while not just making it your typical run-of-the-mill action film. It also seems like he's able to put together a team where they can actually choreograph some good fights. So with the story of Streets of Rage being a bunch of ex-cops trying to rid their city of a bunch of crime, yo, this could be really fun. So I throw it off to you guys. You hear Streets of Rage is getting made by the John Wick and Nobody creator. Does that have you interested even if you haven't played the video game? And if you have played the video game, are you excited? Jumping onto the horror reboot train here a little bit, our first one out the gate is the Blair Witch Project. We got news yesterday that Lionsgate reportedly looking to relaunch Blair Witch Project franchise. This was provided to us by journalist Jeff Snyder, who went ahead and let the world know. Start prepping those pitches, genre scribers, because it sounds like Lionsgate is ready to venture back into the woods again for another Blair Witch project, since good IP is never truly dead in the streaming age. So a couple of things to note off that: we are going to be getting another Blair Witch reboot, which I think the word reboot is kind of loosely used in the Blair Witch world, since the past 3 movies have kind of been their own contained stories. They're all basically kind of reboots or retellings. But also, he mentions here that it's made for the streaming age, so whatever this Blair Witch Project movie turns out to be, it's looking to go to Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, one of those streaming services. This would also make it the 4th Blair Witch movie that we've gotten, and honestly, I really dig the Blair Witch franchise as an IP. I think the concept in itself is always scary, mainly due to that original movie that was just like a game changer for the found footage franchise. But admittedly, I'm gonna say I think the found footage genre is slowly dying or just getting less and less creative. Like, taking effect the last Blair Witch movie that had amazing marketing. If you don't remember the marketing for the last Blair Witch movie that came out in 2016, it was amazing. Originally, we just thought it was a stereotypical horror movie called The Woods, and then one day the trailer changed the title to The Blair Witch Project. It was a secret Blair Witch movie, and our minds were blown. Too bad that same thing didn't happen when we actually saw the movie, because it was pretty bland. But that movie and the recent Paranormal Activity movie that went straight to Paramount Plus is a perfect example why found footage just isn't that interesting to me anymore. Because technology, video cameras, and all this stuff have gotten so advanced that found footage just doesn't even look the same. It just looks like a regular movie where you're holding the camera all shaky and whatnot. The same taste and feel is no longer there when you're busting out drones, little cameras, and glasses. You're catching almost every angle, where it's defeating the purpose of what a found footage movie is: creating atmosphere and making you believe this actually happened. So I know this is going to be a controversial take, but I'm just going to say it. For this next Blair Witch movie, I'd rather it not be found footage. Go back to what you tried to do with that second installment that everyone hates, but I remember it scared the crap out of me as a kid. Just tell a movie focusing on the Blair Witch lore, because I think that's where the franchise shines, not going ahead and doing some typical found footage stuff of kids getting lost in the woods. Again, that's just my opinion. I know some of you guys will feel differently, and I'm happy to hear your thoughts on how they can freshen up the franchise. So what do you guys think of Blair Witch getting a relaunch? And something that's been in dire need of a relaunch, and I was like literally thinking about this movie just the other day, is the Leprechaun franchise. We have it here being reported that Lionsgate plotting the return of the Leprechaun franchise. This is coming from Bloody Disgusting, where they have it reported. Bloody Disgusting sources indicate that Lionsgate is actively seeking out pitches for the next Leprechaun movie, so you can expect more from the mischievous horror icon soon. And look, sometimes as a horror fan, you have to be willing to look at some movies that are bad, but just in an entertaining way. And I wholeheartedly mean it when I say the Leprechaun franchise, I understand they're bad movies, but man, are they entertaining as hell, and I get such a great kick out of them. In fact, I was planning to do a whole Leprechaun movie marathon this October, just because I love the franchise so much and I'd love to talk about each one of the movies, but now knowing there's a reboot in the works, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna save it now for when this movie finally gets made and we could talk all Leprechaun there. But now getting back to what I think they could do with this new rebooted or relaunch of the Leprechaun franchise, I don't know, I'm kind of lost. The inner fan in me just wants it to be Warwick Davis, because that man is the Leprechaun. He captures that character so well. But then I think about the latest Leprechaun movie that they made on Sci-Fi Channel. That actor actually wasn't half bad as a Leprechaun. Nowhere near Warwick Davis, but he was suitable and watchable enough where I enjoyed that movie. So I'm kind of down for them to try getting a new actor that could maybe try to live up to what Warwick Davis did. Maybe they could just make it straight up scary and not so much comedic. Just don't do at all what you tried to do with that one rebooted series that felt nothing like the Leprechaun franchise and was just like a creature monster movie. So yes, I am insanely pumped for this. I want it to happen. I hope this isn't just a thing where they're saying we're gonna try to make the movie and then it doesn't happen, because we heard the same thing with Nightmare on Elm Street, that they were wanting to take pitches. That was like 2-3 years ago and we haven't heard zip. So I throw it off to you guys. They want to reboot Leprechaun. How could they update it for the modern age while being different but yet refreshing? Something I wanted to throw in here real quick just because I thought it was kind of fascinating is we got the announcement of a Ted prequel coming fairly soon. The Hollywood Reporter came out last week and let us know the cast for this Ted prequel that involves Seth MacFarlane. The show is going to be premiering on the Peacock channel. It'll be 10 episodes long, and the plot goes as: set in 1993, and Ted the Bear's moment of fame has passed, leaving him living with his best friend, 16-year-old John Bennett, that was Mark Wahlberg's character, who lives in a working class Boston home with his parents and cousin. Ted may not be the best influence on John, but when it comes right down to it, Ted's willing to go out on a limb to help his friend and his family. That has the making to be a really fun and entertaining show. Just teenage Ted with teenage John doing teenage thing, like probably experimenting with some substances, trying to get laid. Stuff that we saw in the Ted movies that could be pretty raunchy and fun. So I think I'm definitely going to check out an episode or two and might report back on how this show turns out. But I do think it is funny what streaming has done to movie properties, because you either see yourself live long enough to get a sequel or become a show on a streaming service. Sadly, it looks like Ted 3 might not be in the cards right now, but we get this prequel series instead. Let me know if you guys are willing to sign up for Peacock just to watch the Ted prequel. Alright, moving on here, talking about the Minecraft movie. Now, funny enough, if the pandemic and whatnot was never a thing, this Minecraft movie would have come out, I believe, last month. But again, because of the pandemic, that didn't happen, but now it looks like it's back on board and they're serious this time, because the Hollywood Reporter has it here that Jason Momoa star in Minecraft movie for Warner Brothers. They not only have their star for the movie, they also have their director that'll be taking the reins of this Minecraft film as Jared Hess. And let me tell you, my excitement for this Minecraft movie just went through the freaking roof. Jared Hess to me is an underappreciated director. Every time I've seen Nacho Libre and Napoleon Dynamite, I am just laughing my butt off at this awkward form of comedy, and I'm like, why can't this man just make more and more movies? Because I love his style of comedy and storytelling. So now knowing that same type of filmmaking is going to be attached to the Minecraft movie, oh, this thing's going to be memes all day. But aside from that, with Jason Momoa attached, I gotta admit, that's kind of an interesting choice. At one point, it was said that Steve Carell was attached to the movie, but it looks like that was like a whole different type of Minecraft film, because that had more of a plot like Spy Kids 3D. That was where the movie was basically going to be about a bunch of kids who then travel into the Minecraft world to save Minecraft and their own world. And inside the Minecraft world, a bunch of nerds end up having these powers and feeling good about themselves. I'm pretty sure they scrapped that plot for whatever it is they're going on here, or maybe they carried off elements from that script into this new one. Because the article does state that Jason Momoa is lending his voice, but also that the movie is live action, so you can assume that there is going to be some hybrid characters in here where there's live action settings and then there's like CGI characters. And you know what? I feel like it could work. I'm an optimist when it comes to this stuff. A lot of people want to say that a Minecraft movie is not possible, it should just be 100% animated. Let's wait and see what they got, and then we can make fun of it. At the end of the day, Minecraft is like one of the largest video games out there. It's such a recognizable IP. Of course, it was eventually going to be a movie somehow, some way. So I'm just hoping they can kind of make the little blocky look of Minecraft actually pleasing on screen. But I throw it off to you guys. How do you feel about the Minecraft movie finally getting made with this director and Jason Momoa? Are you on board, or is this one you're going to be skipping? But that is all the movie news we currently got going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hear me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on my social medias, they're in the description, Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris, take care.